God, there's so many cool games coming to Xbox in the next 2 months that I'm just going to get straight into them. No messing about, no witty asides, no funny little jokes. There just isn't time for it. So here are the games, starting with the one that this video is brought to us by Marathon. When the team behind Halo and Destiny turn up with a new FPS, we pay attention. Even if we think they should have named it Snickers instead. It's a little joke for the Brits. Marathon challenges players to survive and thrive in a derelict colony, fighting over valuable resources, forming uneasy alliances, and then blasting each other to pieces when those alliances go from uneasy to actually quite difficult. There are a huge range of weapons and body implants to tailor your build with, and a huge range of ways to play. From solo runs to group raids, which we know Bungie are good at, fighting for your chosen faction, or focusing on the overarching story. To really cause some chaos, you can even sneak into an in-progress run as a Rook, a lone scavenger with nothing to lose. All told, Marathon sounds like a thrilling blend of Ark Raiders and Destiny, so we're definitely going to be firing it up come March 5th. In fact, they've got a server slam that is at the end of the month, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Our favourite bass-playing, evil ex-battling, problematic age gap relationship enjoying Canadian is back on March 3rd with Scott Pilgrim EX. This is a follow-up to Mr. Pilgrim's beloved arcade brawler, and it will once again see Scott, Ramona Flowers, and the rest of the gang kicking ass in up to 4-player co-op. But while the basic setup is the same and the vibes, well, they're delightfully retro, this is no mere nostalgia trip. We've got a brand new story from series creator Brian Lee O'Malley, got new enemies and bosses to battle, and a new soundtrack full of mesmerising 8-bit rock, which is what we're all really here for. On March 5th, I'd like to introduce you to a very good new friend of mine called Roller. See, that's the name of a critter that you're going to be teaming up with in Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. He's white, he's fluffy, he rolls around, and he sets things on fire. He's just everything to me. Beyond that, Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf looks like another gorgeous puzzle platformer full of powerful environmental messages and adorable little guys. It's actually going to be a day one addition to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and there's actually a demo available that you could play right now. I've had some pretty cursed hats in my time. No, not this one. Just one beanie from the early 2010s that still gives me nightmares. But it's nothing like the one in Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse. Arriving on March 5th, this roguelike Metroidvania, which is the same spicy flavour combo that made 2D games like Dead Cells so tasty, has players solving puzzles and smacking enemies across a series of auto-generated dungeons, all with the aid of some magical headwear. Toss it onto an enemy's head to take control and take advantage of their unique abilities, unlocking all sorts of combat possibilities. And with 4 players working together in co-op, you'll be able to unleash combos of catastrophic proportions. Yeah, sorry about that one. I did say no jokes at the start. Can't help myself. One of the most haunting horror games ever made, Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly, is coming back like a vengeful spirit. The remake gives the game a total visual overhaul, ramping up the detail level with a particular focus on light and shadow effects for maximum chill factor. Oh, and the camera obscura, the ghost capturing device, not the Scottish pop band that your dad used to listen to, has also gained a bunch of new features that's going to make snapping those ghouls a more aesthetically pleasing, still completely terrifying experience. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly's remake is going to be arriving on March 12th, and if you just can't wait that long to be scared silly, a free demo is set to drop 1 week early on the 5th. Another game that's just dropped a free demo in February, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is going to be releasing the rest of its eldritch horrors on March 12th. This 4-player co-op shooter has players teaming up to take down the Sludge God and his horde of malodorous malcontents. The vibes here, well, they're just pure 80s. I mean, it is a John Carpenter joint after all, so you can expect tons of good splattery gore, buddy movie wisecracks, and monster designs that are straight out of your darkest, dampest nightmares. Ugh. Road Out is a Mad Max-style dystopian tale where society has crumbled and life is all about 2 things: the desperate scramble to stay alive in a ruthlessly hostile world and driving really cool vehicles. Sounds right to me. This top-down game combines old-school action RPG adventuring with a retro racing bit of action and a dash of the original Grand Theft Auto games. You're going to be crawling through dungeons, battling enemies, and scooping up even more powerful gear, and then just hopping back in your ride to tear through the desert, watching out for, mutants and bandits as you go. Your character and your car are both super moddable, and the right upgrades might just help you survive another day. I do say might, but then you could just spend that driving around in your really cool vehicle, so worth it. On March 13th, WWE 2K26 arrives with a 400-strong roster that is simply packed full of wrestling legends, retro icons, and modern-day superstars. Oh yeah, and Roman Reigns is there too. God, I'm going to make some people mad with that. There are a bunch of new match types to try out. I Quit matches are great for players on a power trip, while any budding pyromaniacs are sure to love a good Inferno. The creator tools have been refined to help you craft your own superstars, and My Rise features a new division-based story for more career-oriented players to rise through, and CM Punk is in the spotlight this year, allowing players to relive classic moments from his career in the 2K Showcase. Here's another game with a free trial that you can get stuck into right now. It's Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Now, while the mainline Monster Hunter games are all about the bloody thrill of the hunt, this one is actually for the animal lovers, the tree huggers, the big softies. In this turn-based RPG, you'll be raising monsties of your own, forming close bonds as you ride around together and battle side by side. There's even a neat new habitat restoration mechanic, where you get to manage the ecosystems of entire areas to help specific monsters' species flourish, like the Jane Goodall of big spiky dragon things. So if that's always been your dream, check out Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection on March 13th. Sticks and balls. Balls and sticks. MLB The Show 26 is out on March 17th. It's a stick and ball game. The latest installment in the acclaimed baseball sim series features a refined career mode that is sure to throw some curveballs your way. Players now have far more say in their career trajectory. Their amateur years are now way more fleshed out, and they've got way more shots to call once they turn pro, from requesting trades to setting their own goals. Plus, you can now really target the perks that you want your players to have, building their skills exactly how you like them. Now, if only I could just figure out how to get the being much better at the sport of baseball than everyone else perk that Ohtani seems to have. Size isn't everything, okay? But the news that Crimson Desert's fantastical open world is at least twice as big as Skyrim's, well, that did not go unnoticed. The single-player spin-off from Black Desert Online gives players loads of ways to traverse that ginormous world, from running and horseback riding to grapple hooking, flying, and hopping on the back of the nearest dragon. I mean, that mobility then really comes into play once you're in combat, with physics-driven brawls that let you slap enemies into the sky with your magical fists before pelting them with arrows and obliterating them with a well-aimed broadsword swipe. Oh yeah, and then there's all the things you'll discover while you're exploring, the new powers, the new characters, the quest lines, and the story twists. I mean, there's just so much depth and scope to it all that I can't really do it justice here, so why don't you just check out Crimson Desert when it arrives on March 19th.
And on March 19th, we've got a Tommy gun blast from the past called Mouse PI for Hire.
And like Cuphead, it imitates the rubber hose animation style of the 30s, and every element of the game has been lovingly hand-drawn. But unlike Cuphead, it's a first-person shooter that lets you say kapow your way through those lovely environments in full 3D. You know, there's a real classic Doom feel to its fast-paced combat, as players will use a wide variety of weapons to clear out rooms full of increasingly tricky enemies. And I do mean a wide variety of weapons. I mean, have you ever killed an enemy using a brain in a jar? Because you're gonna, and you're gonna like it. Arriving on March 26th, Screamer is fueled by 90s anime, old-school arcade racing games, and the unyielding belief that if I could just drive a neon-coloured futuristic supercar fast enough, it really would fix me. Soldiers, scientists, criminals, and probably just some regular folks have all turned out for the Screamer tournament, each with their own souped-up vehicle that reflects their personality and driving style. So maybe not so many regular folks, actually, because what the hell's going on there? In these ultra-high-speed races, the only rule is that the first person over the finish line wins. So feel free to batter your rivals as much as you like along the way. If you have fond memories of the old Ridge Racer games, Screamer should be in pole position on your wishlist. If you reckon you could keep everything copacetic at a major football tournament, why don't you check out Copper City on March 26th? It's a bit hard to tell the joke there, but it's in there, I promise. Now, this is a very different sort of sports sim, one where you're not playing as a player, a manager, or even a club owner, but the bigwig that's in charge of actually organising events. That means building venues, figuring out transport routes, setting up fan zones, and deciding just how many years in prison to give people found with a half and half scarf on their person. Yeah, it's not okay, stop buying them. Rise through the ranks in the solo campaign, go head to head with your friends, or you can take on these deviously devised challenge scenarios as you strive to become the Lionel Messi of football-based event planning. Another big day one arrival on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate comes on the 14th of April with the stylish cyber noir adventure Replaced. This 2.5D action platformer drops players into an alternate version of 80s America, which seems to have a lot more killer robots than the regular version had. Or maybe I missed that part in history class. I don't know. Either way, Replaced features an engrossing story of corporate conspiracy, some of the coolest pixel art visuals you'll ever see, and melee combat that is so deliciously crunchy you could chuck it in a bowl with some nuts and call it a breakfast cereal. On April 16th, we'll be trying not to lose our marbles as we delve down into an ancient city in Cthulhu, the Cosmic Abyss. In this first-person horror, a bunch of miners have gone missing in the Pacific Ocean, and it's up to you and your AI companion to figure out what happened, which involves diving down into the ancient sunken city designed to keep he of the sinister squid face imprisoned, so good luck with that. This is a true Lovecraftian experience, and Cthulhu the Cosmic Abyss's shadowy world has been cleverly crafted to mess with your perceptions. It's purposefully disorienting in the same way as first-person horrors like Amnesia and Visage, and it will make you doubt your eyes as your mind plays tricks on you, your ears deceive you, and your nose, well, maybe you don't have any evidence against him, but he's always just hanging around with the wrong kind of people, so yeah, he's probably up to something bad too. Launching day one on Game Pass Ultimate on April 22nd, Tides of Tomorrow is a groundbreaking new story-driven multiplayer game from the creators of Road 96. So 2025 was all about for those who come after, and you're going to need to keep that energy here as you try to stay alive on a dangerous, watery world where every player's fate is ingeniously and asynchronously interlinked with the fates of others. Let me explain. You'll pick a player to follow and have to deal with the choices they made. So if they gobbled up every item in sight, smashed every bridge they came across, and ticked off all the locals, well, you're going to have a much harder time, which you are then free to take out on whichever poor sap is following you. Pragmata is the sort of beautifully bonkers action game that only Capcom can serve up, and it's scheduled for April 24th. In this third-person actioner, you'll be playing as a jetpack-clad spacefarer and the super hacker android child that he hangs out with, combining their skills to solve puzzles and absolutely wreck some robots. There are shades of Vanquish and Lost Planet to Pragmata's jet-setting combat, and it makes for an absolutely exhilarating experience, which you can start getting to grips with right now via the game's sketchbook demo. It's a lot of demos this month, isn't it? But it's not all rock'em sock'em robot stuff either. There's also a shelter that you can retreat to between missions to upgrade your gear, strengthen your bonds, and just take a bit of a breather. Lovely. And finally, on April 30th, we've got an arcade fighter starring a superhero who goes by the name of... The bouts here are 3v3 affairs with each player picking a trio of characters and then tactically tagging in and out to get the upper hand on their opponents. And it goes without saying that, yes, all your favourite characters are here, from Omni-Man to Battle Beast to good old Cecil. And it also goes without saying that the fights here are absolutely brutal, with real-time battle damage that really helps you to understand what getting punched in the face by an alien superhero might actually feel like. Probably not good. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 keeps adding more firepower as Season 2 rolls on, with the mid-season addition of new multiplayer maps like Talk and a remastered Clifftown, new modes like Gauntlet, and the introduction of the Avalon map to Warzone. Big map time, baby. And it's a similar story over in Battlefield 6, where Season 2 will be adding the new Nightfall map on March 17th, followed by the time-limited Hunter Prey mode on April 14th. So it's just a really, really good couple of months for FPS fans in general. It's about to strike midnight over in the World of Warcraft, with the massive new expansion set to arrive on March 2nd. And that means new dungeons to explore, new raid bosses to take down, a bioluminescent new race to play as, and the chance to finally call this place home with the introduction of player housing. Huge. And then the Lord of Hatred will be in his fine, I'll do it myself era come April 28th, because the new Diablo 4 expansion is going to let us duke it out with Mephisto in a battle to end all battles, and it will also give us 2 new classes to play as, the Faithful Paladin and the recently revealed Warlock, who can summon the forces of hell to do their bidding. Which, I think sounds like the perfect way to give Mephisto a taste of his own medicine. But Lord of Hatred is also going to add some sweet new endgame systems, like the Echoing Hatred encounters, where players have to fend off waves of enemies, and it will finally let us loose in Sanctuary's most ancient region, the Skovos Isles. Oh, what a beautiful bunch of games that was. Hit the comments to let me know which ones are going straight to the top of your to-play tile. Will you be heading over to the dark sci-fi world of Tau Ceti 4 when Marathon arrives on March 5th? Between the fast-paced PvPvE combat, the tense and tenuous co-op, the hugely moddable classes, and the wide range of ways to play, it is sounding like a pretty tempting option. Who knows, you might even see me there. Although, not if I see you first.
Rated T for teens.